Hello, everybody. I'm McDole, and this is kind of a silly thing, kind of an awkward thing because I just basically babbled for about 15, 20 minutes trying to figure out what the hell I was going to say. I have a better idea of what I was going to say, but now it's um, basically back in the halcyon year of 2020. Who the hell thinks of it that way? Back in the garbage year of 2020, I started a project in anticipation for the release of the expansion Endwalker to give myself the opportunity to revisit the story of Final Fantasy XIV in preparation for it, and that really didn't end up happening because depression sucks. It just flat out does. So, what I finally I feel like I'm in good enough headspace where I can get back onto it, and I want to get back onto it. So what I am doing, but I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently. First thing first is I'm going to be doing this pretty much in a video style format, where I am playing Final Fantasy XIV on my main character, Ryan McDole, as you can see here, who's walking around like an idiot. And also, I need to adjust my HUD, but while I'm doing that, I can keep talking. But basically, what it boils down to is it's a lot less labor intensive for me to. Although writing things down does have a little bit of a better way of being able to organize my thoughts, because I'm basically a pretty weird, rambly person when I'm not scripting myself out. But maybe with reading this, maybe with working on this in a lot more live format and talking things out a little bit better, I'll maybe able to get better at it because I need to. But anyway, why am I staying out here in front of the Arcanist Guild in Limsa Lominsa? Well, that's because I want to at least give those who are following the original Let's Play with Sots and Suisse a little bit of thing. So what I've done is I have switched to Summoner. And I think what I can do is I can actually kind of show how Summoner works, and through the course of doing the quest line for it. So since the people that I polled for the Let's Play wanted to see Summoner for the Heavensward quest, for the Heavensward patch story, I decided to give it to you guys for that, and I don't have to level it, but it would be kind of lame if I didn't actually play through the storyline of that. So what I have done is I have activated, up here you can see with the little quest, the marker up here, I have activated the New Game Plus feature here in this menu. What this lets you do is this lets you relive past experiences and play through story quests with whatever with no what am I trying to say? No quest rewards, but you still get you still get the story progression, get the quest experience. And you don't get quest experience. I'm sorry, I don't know why my brain is locked on that. But you have different options that you can select. So I can go back and play the Crystal Tower if I wanted to, or anything that I've already previously completed on this character. I've completed most of everything on this character. There's one thing I haven't completed, and it has to do with some new content that came out in patch 6.18 or something like that, which is pretty late, and that's when all this is happening. But I'm here as what is going to effectively be a level 30 Arcanist to pick up the Summoner storyline. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back into New Game Plus, going to resume that, and we are going to talk with Miss Thurbeckheim, the assistant guildmaster. We've already done some stuff for her in this situation, but she is going to ask to have us go talk to somebody from the Sons of Saint Koinak, which is the same organization that Garahatia was a part of in the Crystal Tower storyline. And appears that this research the Sons are currently conducting would benefit from the assistance of an Arcanist, specifically one who has the tempering experience of defeating the primal Ifrit. I must admit to some curiosity as these scholars knew the extent of your heroic exploits. I suppose the source of their knowledge is of little relevance. If you would answer this request, then you will find your contact, a researcher by the name of Ymitra at Akalu Falls in the nation of Gridania. So, Ymitra is, we met Ymitra in the Heaven's Word main story when we rescued Ishtola from the live stream. But right now we're going to go to none of those Shadowbringers locations. We're going to Gridania. Oh, you know what? It's cheaper on the wallet to take the airship than teleporting. It's 600 gil versus like the 120 to go to Gridania. And here we are at Ymitra. You are Ryan McDowell, I assume. Well then, thank you for coming. My name, as you have obviously surmised, is Ymitra. I'm a member of the Sons of St. Quinart. Ours is a Charlian order that seeks the lost knowledge of the ancient Allian Empire. In that regard, we have made a singularly important discovery at our dig site in Bordona. We salvaged from the ruins a set of texts describing the existence of a sect of Allagan mages known as Summoners. These were arcane practitioners said to have had the ability to siphon the essences of the primals and manifest the stolen energy as a biddable ally known as an Eggy. Should we succeed in resurrecting such arts, then we might well hold in our hands the power to bring this age of conflict to an end. There is, however, as there must always be, one monumental obstacle to realizing this reality. In order to manifest these obedient incarnations of the beastman's savage deities, one must first defeat a primal and capture its etheric essence. Thus, only one who can boast such daunting achievement under his belt may even begin on the path to becoming a summoner. Do you understand now why I called upon you? If you wish to contribute to my research, then come to me in the west of Byrgot Strike in southern Thanalan. There we shall conduct a ritual of summoning, the austerities of flame. So, yeah. Oh, I can't even chat with her. Weird. Let's see. We are going to Thanalan. Byrgot Strike is out in the Sagoli Desert in southern Thanalan. So, off we go. This mount is Twintania from the turn 5 of the Binding Coils of Bahamut. You can get this mount for inviting friends to play Final Fantasy XIV, and it can do a barrel roll. Literally, that's what the button says. Do a barrel roll. Here she is. Greetings once more to you, Ryan. I had a feeling this unique opportunity would be nigh impossible for you to ignore. Let us proceed directly to the ritual, shall we? According to the records we recovered, summoners of old would perform these rites in a land which the naturally dominant element matched the aspect of the avatar they wished to call forth. Only in such a place may one sufficiently shift one's etheric balance in the desired direction. The element of fire is especially strong here in the Sagoli Desert. I can think of no land more fitting in which to summon the incarnation of the Lord of the Inferno. But before we begin, I must insist that you accept this gem. It may appear of little worth, but within its faceted depths dwell the memories of long-deceased summoners. Now you must focus. Visualize the ether flowing through you, a vibrant current of energy transforming into living fire. Hold this image in your mind, and the raging heat of your life force shall spawn an eggy wreathed in flames. Be aware, however, that this nascent entity will appear before you unbound and hostile. It is your charge to overpower the avatar and establish yourself as its master. The path of the summoner is not, if not fraught with peril. And it's going to level sync me down to level 34. gonna fight this little tiny chicken nugget, Ifrit. Now, Summoner works in that you need to have a Carbuncle summoned, which I did not have, which is good. And then you basically cast Ruin. And what you can do is you can Ether Charge, which gives you 15 seconds of boosted damage, and then you're also going to get access to your three elemental stances. You got Topaz, Ruby, and Emerald. I'm going to start with Ruby, which has two long-casting spells that you can cast. And eventually you get more stuff, but for now, Topaz has 2 instant cast shots right there. And then you have Emerald, which has 4 fast casting spells. This will look a lot more unique and interesting once you actually start playing as a summoner instead of an arcanist. And every 60 seconds you get energy drain, which lets you shoot 2 shots of Fester, which is... I don't know how I feel about that. It's just extra buttons to press. Keep the job feeling interesting, but not really... I'm not going to complain too much about it. Anyway. Most impressive, Ryan. The Fireborn Eki is submitted to your will. You have mastered the austerities of flame, and that is no small feat. Pray let us return to Akalu Falls that we might first further discuss your achievement. As you wish. Alright, we're back. This is truly a momentous occasion. You have rescued the lost art of summoning from the grasping mire of forgotten history, but you must know more of the avatar that you have bound. In the ancient tongue of the Allegan Empire, it would be known as FFXIV, where Egi translates approximately to pure, or the essence of. In short, you have tamed a willful manifestation of Ifrit's raging fires. As you might expect from an entity born of Lord of the Inferno, this avatar and its capacity for destruction should serve you well in your battles to come. With such an ally at your command, it is not too soon to take upon yourself the title of Summoner. You have proven yourself more than worthy of the soul crystal you now possess. Yet be that as it may, the road before you is long and arduous. If you would triumph in this age of conflict, you must needs master more than just the Egi of fire. I suggest you next fix your gaze upon claiming a servant of unyielding stone. Once you've seized victory against the primal titan, did you not? Though I admit I am eager to progress directly to the austerities of Earth, you must be careful not to overtax your reserves of strength. Rest well, and spend some time to grow accustomed to your newfound abilities. Once you feel prepared to continue with our historic research, you will find me here, awaiting your arrival with barely constrained impatience. And next quest is available at level 35. Oh, guess what? We're already level 35. So this changes your Summon Ruby button into Summon Ifrit. And now that we can actually equip our proper book and Summon Crystal to continue with the story, you can see my full glamour with my silly little head dong up here. It's the technical term, head dong. And there's a fancy little book from a Stormblood raid, or not a raid, but a trial rather. Looks pretty cool, and it'll make sense eventually. Kind of why I chose this book in particular. Anyway, we have gone out and leveled up to 35. So let's chat with Emitra and keep things going. Titan's essence infuses your aura, Ryan. I foresee no further obstacles preventing us from attempting the next ritual. Shall we proceed with the austerities of Earth? I have every confidence that you will succeed in binding Titan Egi to your will. According to my research, the most suitable location for the ritual is a place to be found southwest of Alder Springs in North Shroud. The heretofore buried layer of ancient rock exposed by the violent upheavals of the calamity has left the surrounding area an overwhelming earthen aspect. The conditions will be perfect. I will await you at our destination, Ryan. It's Norshrat, right? Yeah, Norshrat. I'm just dumb. I don't know how to do things. And that's my dog Alice. She is adorable. There's a fate over here, but we're just going to ignore that. The ritual you're about to perform is essentially no different from the austerities of flame. Instead of fire, however, you'll be concentrating on shifting your etheric balance toward the spectrum of earth. Once you've achieved the required state of earthen affinity, let's say, the primal's captured essence will tumble forth and coalesce into the stony form of Titan Agent. As before, you must demonstrate unflinching authority if you'd convince this newborn avatar to heed your commands. Let us begin. And he's a chicken nuggy. Chimkin nuggy. Alright. So, I need to resummon Carbuncle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to do things, and now is I can ether charge again, like before. Yeah, I know he summoned Allies of Earth. I have to keep... But now, once I have my charges, I can use Summon Ifrit, which will change... Oh, I've... Something's weird. I don't know why it did another Ruby Carbuncle, but... It should have been Ifrit Chicken Nugget. Maybe I need to redo my Summoner my Eggy Glamours, but... That one's gonna be Topaz regardless. And then again. With the way that the developers change Summoner going into Endwalker, it fills out a lot more, but the core of the rotation stays the same. It just adds more stuff on top of it. Oh, well done, Ryan. So it looks a little boring now, but... Oh. That was rude of you. I come in search of Allagan relics, and what do I find but a pair of incompetent dabblers? By what jest of fate did you chance across such undeserved power? Who might you be, sir, to boldly question our accomplishments? If you have indeed unlocked the secrets of summoning, then you must be in possession of the very treasure I seek. How terribly convenient. I need only slay you both and take what I need from your bloody corpses. Gods below, a summoner, but how? Cease your infantile prattle. The continuation of my divine work far outweighs the worth of your pitiful lives. Alright. Fortune, die by my hand, not ash will remain of your wretchedness. So this is actually kind of reminiscent of the summoner duels that you would see in games like Final Fantasy X, where Yuna would fight a rival summoner with her summon beasts. Why do you struggle so? 'Cause you're trying to kill me, buddy. Your unwillingness to accept oblivion but delays the inevitable. Heed me, Avatar of Infernal Flame. Incinerate these fools in an all-consuming hellfire. The Chimkin Nuggy protected. What? Feel nature's fury, you vile blackguard. She throws rocks. Like a good conjurer. I tire of this childish game. Thank your gods for granting you another day of miserable existence. He's gone. What a decidedly unpleasant fellow. You definitely are your sister's sister. Yay, Titan Eggy! I said we're ignoring this fate. Well, I suggest we return to Apkalu Falls. I have no desire to linger here and chance another encounter with whomever that deranged mage was. So I glanced at the actions and traits listings for the job, and I realized that they had updated these things to look a little more, to be a little more viewable. So originally they had this list of stuff that you can just plop onto your bar, although it's not really as user-friendly as it is to switch to this view that actually kind of shows you the general flow of how things work. So you have actual upgrades. So here you have Ether Charge, which later upgrades to Dreadworm Prince, which later upgrades to Summon Bahamut. And since I'm currently at level 90, I have access to the highest level ability in this upgrade tree. So similarly, we have Summon Topaz, and then once I turn in this quest, it's going to turn into Summon Titan. But I also have access to Summon Titan 2, which is the capstone ability for Summoner, which kind of calls the full primal and not just an Eggy, which is... Did not expect to be so suddenly fighting for my life. What precious treasure do we carry that this callous stranger was so willing to kill us to possess it? Such mysteries aside, I'm most glad you were able to secure Titan Eggy before the summoner decided to unleash his fiery avatar. Without his protection, I doubt we would have survived that conflagration. The Eggy you birth, as was so aptly demonstrated, is not a force to be trifled with. You should certainly take the time to explore its capabilities, as well as its limitations. Be careful, however, not to neglect your other magics at your disposal. Meanwhile, I shall confer with my colleagues in the Sons of St. Koinak and see what I might learn of that hostile summoner. We shall meet anon. Oh, and we get a little animation where we figure out the new spell to summon Titan. Shadowing the Summoner. How fared you with your training, Ryan? Oh, it was great. Great training. Like, this whole montage. There was montages, there was 80s music, it was great. For my part, I had some success in uncovering the identity of our mystery attack. Oh, good. We knew that our assailant was capable of summoning Ifrit Eggy, so I pursued records of past expeditions for those who came to have triumphed against the Lord of the Inferno. Of these victorious primal hunters, there were 8 names listed as present whereabouts unknown. After eliminating unlikely candidates based on race and gender, I was left with but a single name, Tristan. Assuming the records are accurate, this hero was once registered as a soldier in the Immortal Flames. As to how this man came by his skills as a summoner, or so why he sought to kill us, however, I remain woefully ignorant. Nevertheless, I have witnessed him use the art of summoning for casual brutality, and I cannot countenance. His power should never be employed for the sake of tyranny or personal gain. It was meant to oppose such evils. I don't know. This is an Allegan, or this stuff is Allegan in origin. I think tyranny and that kind of stuff is probably what was originally designed for. It is our responsibility to bring Tristan to justice. Should we stand idle, his reprehensible actions could very well stain the good name of future summoners who have yet to answer the calling. The art itself could be outlawed, the very mention of it taboo. Now, through my inquiries, I was able to determine that a war comrade from Tristan's days in the military resides in Little Alamigo. I ask that you pay a visit to his former soldier and learn what he knows of our callous villain. To Little Alamigo it is. You might notice when I'm actually in the level sync duties, my little HUD bar down here at the bottom is a little bit different than what it is right now. That's because that's the Dreadworm Trance bar instead, which replaces the Carbuncle bar once you actually unlock Dreadworm Trance. And that will happen later. We'll actually get to see that. Well, it seems like Tristan wasn't telling tall tales after all. He said I could expect some primal adult sod to show up and start asking questions. Why don't you stay here and play with some of my friends of mine? I have a message to deliver. He's all yours, ladies. Oh, this is gonna be this is not gonna be nice for you, because this is what it's like at level 90. Legitimately summoning Bahamut up here. Yeah. Bye. A little bit of a filler quest, because now we're going right back to Ymitra to say, well, that was kind of a wet fart. Hey, I got 6 gil out of that fight. I figured out how the Gil farmers actually Gil farm. Alright, back here. You were set upon. The fiend is one step ahead of us. I wager 10 years of Dixite findings that Tristan warned his allies long before you set foot in that settlement. They thought you wanted the tempered, mortal thrall to a primal's will. In addition to being ruthless, it appears our opponent is highly intelligent and not quite as deranged as I first assumed. Such a level of planning hints at the existence of some greater scheme. But that is still all we know. For the moment, we must be content with the knowledge that he perceives us as a threat, and is aware of our efforts to track him. Speaking of which, you did exceedingly well to survive the trap to which I blithely sent you. I must apologize for my carelessness. I will not underestimate this man again. On a happier note, however, my efforts to decipher the Allegan text proceed apace. Here, you must read this. With your skills already tried and tested against the Eggy, you should have little difficulty in mastering a secondary summoning technique such as this. Let us put this day's disaster behind us and focus on the wonders that lies ahead. Now, which ability was it that you get at this level? Because as this game has progressed, there's always been like shifts of where you learn stuff. Oh, Pain Flare. Okay, so Pain Flare is a follow-up ability that is like the Fester ability. After you use Energy Drain on an enemy, you can use Fester twice with the 2 Ether Flow stacks it gives you. Alternately, while you're attacking an AoE, and AoE with Tri-Disaster, you can weave in off-global Pain Flares instead. And that's basically what Pain Flare is about. So it's kind of another filler ability to do stuff on the off-global. Greetings, Ryan. Though it is good to see you, I'm afraid I have yet to ascertain Tristan's ultimate objective. I know, I've literally gone nowhere right now. I only know that he is cunning and brutal and will stop at nothing to achieve his purpose. As matters stand, we but chase after this man's shadow. Such a straightforward pursuit will, I believe, leave us ever one step behind. Our sole advantage is the treasure that we possess that Tristan appears to covet. Eventually, his desire will bring him to us. Where and when Tristan will strike, I cannot say, but it is unlikely to be on the field of our choosing. Thus, I suggest we prepare for this inevitable conflict as best we may. As fortune would have it, the ruins of Mordona may have provided us with a new source of strength. Word among the sons is that a set of evokers' attire has been unearthed. Made during the reign of the Alagon Empire, these enchanted garments were sewn for the exclusive use of summoners. I can only imagine the degree to which they will enhance your already impressive powers. The man supervising the excavation efforts is at St. Coinac's find. Rambrose is a dear friend of mine. In light of our circumstances, I'm certain that he will consent to a request that you be allowed to don the attire. Shall we pay him a visit? I know Rambrose. Give me just a couple minutes while I go prepare some things. Alright, here we are. Hey, Rambrose. So, strictly speaking, this chronologically takes place before the Crystal Tower expedition. Ah, Ymitra. I suspected you'd make an appearance before long. I presume this fine gentleman is the new summoner I've heard so much about? Yes, hopefully the first of many. Now pray tell me, Rambrose, has the discovery of Alagon made evoker's attire been confirmed? It has, a truly historical find. Then, I would ask a boon of you, my friend. You recall the predicament of which I spoke? Our chances of survival would be greatly improved if you consider allowing Ryan to wear the Alagon garments. Well, he is a summoner after all. I confess no small degree of scholarly curiosity as to the effect the attire will have on one with the appropriate training. These finds, however, are the result of much sweat and even a few tears on the part of our excavation team. 'Tis a frustrating task at times, and I fear that they will be loath to part with the garments without some measure of recompense for their efforts. Allow me, though, to offer a solution. Metallic monstrosities of Alagon construction known as Mirror Knights have risen from the dig sites scattered across Mordona. Needless to say, they pose a dangerous threat to our excavators. I suggest you speak with my 3 field researchers and dispose of any such nasty hindrances to their work. I dare say that they will then gladly surrender the pieces of the attire they may hold. Once I have confirmed our dig site suitably empty of armored horrors, I will see you rewarded with the garment that I myself recovered from the ruins. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit because what I did is I stopped over at the Calamity Salvager and picked up the quest rewards for all of this stuff already. So. Hello. Oh, here it comes. And Ruin 3. Blap. It's fine. Now that I have my things, now I might be able to concentrate on my tasks. Oh, wondrous pieces of attire. Excellent. You know what? Let's just slap all this on now. And this is kind of this is kind of what the see. There's the headpiece, the arms, and the legs, and the boots. So we're getting all of these pieces from the various researchers around here in Rambrose. Hang on, come back, HUD. We have work to do. Here you are. Oh, more things to blast. And ruined. Alright, fixed it. Yep. This does not belong in a museum. Alright, now that we've helped all 3 of those guys, Rambrose should give us the next piece that we need, except I already have it. because Calamity salvaged her. With the ruins now free of Mirror Knights, the excavation can proceed at a far more satisfying pace. Troubling and fear for one's life makes it astonishingly difficult to handle the ancient artifacts that have a tendency to crumble to dust. You performed a valuable duty for us, Rhine. As promised, you shall have the summoner's garment uncovered by my own hand as your reward. Ah, yes, Ymita mentioned she would await you at Upkalu Falls. Seems there was no doubt in her mind that you would succeed here. Well, glad she has such faith in me. Although, just 3 shots of Ruin 3 and it's over, but... Oh, hello, Zeph. So this quest is obviously the get your artifact gear, except for the chest, which you'll get in the next, which you'll get at the capstone quest. But this mirrors the paladin quests and monks quests and all the other ARR jobs. You get all of your your artifact gear except for the chest. At this point in the job quests. These garments, aside from the coloring, they are identical to the garb Tristan wore. Find no edge against you with his equipment. When you next face that murderous cad, victory will be decided purely by who is the more talented summoner. To that end, it is time you drew on your experience in defeating the primal Garuda. Yes, our aura of fickle violence is palpable upon you. It is daunting to imagine an Eggy born of the Lady of the Vortex. Such unpredictable ferocity should serve you well. I shall search for a suitably airy location with which to perform the austerities of wind. You, my dear summoner, must needs prepare yourself body and mind for the trials ahead. I shall be waiting. I think I am ready. I sense Garuda's restless ends as it's reeling within the confines of your etheric channels. It is time we granted release with the austerities of wind. Thankfully, I have in mind a location that well suits our elemental purposes. You're familiar with the floating city of Nim and Outer Lanashia. As you might imagine, the aspect of wind is entirely dominant in the area of the Suspended Isles. Pray make your way there as soon as you feel prepared. I'm quite excited to see this new Eggy. Alright, here we are. Shall we begin? I assume that this is your third such experience. You have by now grown familiar with the steps of the ritual. Thus, as before, I would have you concentrate on shifting your etheric balance. Imagine the energy within you howling through your veins, an incessant gale of screeching wrath. Garuda's essence will only be too eager to harness those raging currents and shape them into a worldly avatar. Once the Garuda Eggy has appeared, it falls to you to tame its fury. Okie dokie then. Let us stop it. And obviously you'd be gating this to where you would actually be doing this in the story. Okay, here we go. Back. And let's pop some ether charge. Get some Legos, as some of the cool kids are calling it. I don't want to be in that. I was in it. I do also have access to Physic, but it really sucks for healing, so you generally don't want to use it unless you're memeing. Let's just go ahead and continue blasting. Saparna and Sharada. Nice. Okay. Yeah, this is basically how the fight goes, is you get Saparnas and Chiradas and stuff. It's a very, very baby version of the Garuda fight. And that's it. Masterfully done, Ryan. Garuda Eggi's power is now yours to wield. Your aptitude for the summoning arts has exceeded my highest expectations. I honestly could not have found a more valuable partner for my research. Let us return to Akalu Falls. I'm sure you must be exhausted after this ordeal. Oh, yeah. Beaten. The addition of the Garuda Eggi, you now command 3 powerful avatars. As you'd no doubt realize, however, each of these entities has a particular role in which it excels. For Garuda Eggi, that role is unleashing magic to strike down distant foes. Must admit to have feeling equal parts joy and apprehension for how faithfully the summoned being displays the original primal's volatile disposition. Blah. Experiment with your Eggi allies. The most effective use of their individual abilities will soon become clear. With such mastery of the art at your disposal, I shall almost pity Tristan when he next chooses to confront you. Before that time comes, however, I will endeavor to pierce the mystery of his motivations. May your discoveries bring you new confidence, Ryan. Okie dokie. So now we have the trifecta of summons. Ryan, there's been a terrible incident. My poor colleagues at St. Coinex find murdered. Reports are confused, but they all mention the same black-robed attacker. You know as well as I do that Tristan is behind this massacre. He's indeed grown bold or desperate to commit such a brazen act. We should set out for Mordona at once and speak with any survivors. Maybe that we can glean some idea what that cold-hearted monster was after, or where he might strike next. We must stop him, Ryan. Oh no. So this is the capstone quest for A Realm Reborn Summoner story, obviously. And at this point we would get the, once we complete this quest we would get the final outfit. So you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and equip it now so we can see it in action. So there it is. It's a nice coat. I like it. And I like the, but I also do like the coat that comes from the dungeon in Endwalker that I'm using for my normal glamour. Alright, here we go. Though the necessity pains me, we must ask this man what he remembers of the attack. Tristan cannot be allowed to escape the consequences of unrepentant savagery. Yes, I'm absolutely certain. It was the same dark summoner with whom Yumitra described to us. We were celebrating a recent find, a soul crest of an elegant summoner, when a man in black robes suddenly appeared and demanded we surrender the gem. Naturally, we objected to this arrogant imposition, but he simply snorted our refusal. Next moment, the world exploded into flame. Though a haze of agony, I saw him snatch up the soul crystal from a smoldering body and stride off toward the singing shards. That bastard slaughtered my friends. There was no warning, no negotiation. If the gods grant you the chance to exact vengeance, then I pray you show him the same mercy he afforded us. Yeah. Another soul crystal. Yes, it makes sense that he would shift his attention to a more easily obtainable gem. After all your progress, you would make a most formidable opponent. I must apologize for not sharing my theory earlier. I suspected that Tristan might desire the soul crystal you carry, but did not wish to draw any premature conclusions without sufficient evidence. That, you know what, it wasn't a very heavily guarded secret. I am at a loss, however, has to explain why he seeks to collect more of these Allagan relics. We shall just have to ask the villain himself after we corner him in the singing shards. Let us be on our way. Yup. Baby girl. That was a bork you did. Alright, here we go. There's Tristan. Oh. And an Ascian. I have brought you the soul crystals as promised. Yes, these appear to be authentic Allagan artifacts. Very well, I shall honor our bargain. From within these gems I will draw forth the memories of ancient summoners, and the slumbering essence of an elder primal. All the attendant knowledge and power shall be yours. Elder primal? Oh no. That's the pain. It's not my best evil laugh. I didn't want to bust that out completely. Ah, the bumbling summoner and his incompetent lackey make an appearance at last. You think to capture me? Fools, I've orchestrated your every move. You've grown much in the art, that is true. But through the wisdom of the Paragons, I now command the power of an Elder Primal. You made a deal with the Paragons, and you call us fools? The Ascians will never relinquish their hold on you. Small price to pay, but if you could feel the strength that fills my entire being, it is indescribable. I will use this power to annihilate the beast tribes, and put an end to their insufferable rituals once and for all. The primals will rise no more. Hear me, demon king of devouring flame. Feed on my ever-burning anguish and be reborn! Culmination of my sacred duty is at hand. But first, there's one more soul crystal that must be mine. I will tolerate its wasted potential no longer. Oh, yeah? Did it unsummon my... It did unsummon my, pet. Oh, well. Beliasegi. This is gonna suck. Oh yeah. He used the level 1. But that's okay. Let's absorb the Eggy's power. I'm a god amongst men. Let's just go ahead and cancel all of that, shall we? Also, I'm like way over geared for the fight because I'm level synced much higher for it. By all the memories of summoners past, I should have been unstoppable. I will sear the disease of the beastmen from the face of the land. Deprived of worshippers, the primal that tempered my weak-willed sibling will wither into oblivion. So my order's records were accurate. It was buried deep in the archives. I but recently uncovered a report that described how you slew your own brother. He was corrupted during your ill-fated encounter with Ifrit, was he not? I imagine your superiors in the Immortal Flames thought it a mercy to conceal that inglorious detail. Once the soft-headed fool had been tempered, there was no saving him. Thus I took it upon myself to expunge the stain of embarrassment. But my work is left undone. The primal. Oh, all primals must suffer for that insult. After I killed my brother, I found myself liberated. My vision clear. No deed was too vile if it promised to add to power I required. How can you not see? I am the sword of vengeance, and I shall wrest that soul crystal from your blasted corpse. Press X to doubt, buddy. Damn. No evidence of the body. If he in fact died there. You didn't see a body. Wonder which struck the first blow to his sanity. The despair at his brother's tempering, or the guilt from slaying his own kin. It is ironic to think that, discounting the means, our purposes were fundamentally one and the same. Summoner employs the savagery of the primals to conquer the primals themselves. Had Tristan approached us as an ally, we might have found ourselves aiding his cause. Alas, he chose to walk the path of bloodshed. Each vicious act must have pushed the man deeper into madness until eventually the lust for power and vengeance was all that drove him. The might of the primals carries with it a burden of responsibility and a measure of danger. I hope never to see you corrupted by the potent energies you wield, Ryan. It is time we return to Akalu Falls. The Dark Summoner is no more. Yep. We'll see. See if he's done. Anyway, back to Gridania to conclude this story with the first leg of the story. Oh, how I'd love to declare our troubles at an end, but I fear the Ascian with whom Tristan made his bargain is yet afoot. These so-called paragons prey upon the men and women who are at their weakest, speaking honeyed words to lead them down the road to destruction. In this manner they seek to plunge the realm of Eorzea into chaos. It's reassuring to know that heroes like you exist to foil the never-ending schemes and foul plots. An outright war against the Ascians looms closer day by day. Thus I would have you armor yourself with this last piece of the Evoker's attire. Blah. It was discovered at the same dig site whence Tristan seized the soul crystal, and the St. Coinox Fine Research is grateful for your actions in bringing the murderous summoner to justice. Insisted that you complete your set. One can never be over-prepared when heading into a battle against a paragon. Wear it proudly, Ryan. Speaking of preparations, were you aware of the deeper layer of power hidden within your avatars? A technique exists that allows you to tap into the full potential of your Egi. You must have seen Tristan employing this ability. I don't know, he went down kind of fast. During the final battle of the Dark Summoner, you would have heard a whisper emanating from the Soul Crystal. Still your mind now, Ryan. You'll hear the voices of the ancient summoners instructing you in their greatest achievement. The true power of the Egi will be yours. Enkindle, and that's actually not an ability but a trait. And yeah, gotta go do Heaven's Word in order to get gotta unlock Heaven's Word in order to continue the story.